Yep, morning everybody. 5 a.m. club. Welcome to Back to City page or account. We're gonna be talking to Sims. He's a production and designing expert. He's actually one of our own. Yeah, I hope he jumps on so we can get into this and talk about designing and production and let's get into it and hear from him what he does. Obviously, they're very important right now because these guys are essential workers because they're able to do things that I know I can't. They're able to design and make you look good and Photoshop and cut and paste and So yeah, um, hope he's up. Oh, there he is. I hope he's up. Oh, but he's up. He's up. He's up. What's up, Sims? Let's do this. I know he was teasing me and saying that he hopes that I have data so we can have a great chat about being a designer and being the backbone of most production companies. These guys are the ones that make us look good. What's up, Jet? What's up, everybody? It's the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's Sims. There's Sims. What's up, everybody? Everyone wakes up early. Oh, couldn't sleep. My sleeping pattern has just gone out the way. So.
Yo, did you just call me an essential worker?
Yeah, you are. You're an essential worker. What's up?
That's some wild shit. I'm alright, bro. I'm surviving, You see the eye bags,
Yeah.
it's wild out here, dog. Crazy, like. I swear to God, like the world could be blowing up and I'll still have a deadline.
What's up,
Like,
everybody?
what's up to everybody who's tuned in?
Yeah, what's up,
Yeah,
everybody?
I'm the one on this one less famous than everybody. Some wild shit.
Let,
It's really
let's let's get into that. That's a very interesting thing that you just said. That most of the time, people at the back, right? I forgot I got headphones. Look at this. I forgot I have headphones. But people at the back are always the least famous, but they do the most amazing work. What's up, Ndabis Mnandi? I think let's start with who you are and what you do, so that people understand why I put you on.
Well, SIMZ MRVL, obviously. But my real name is SIMZ MRVL. I'm a creative director, artist, newly inducted rapper, and entrepreneur. Like, I think for the most part, what I describe myself for everybody is like I'm just an entrepreneur and all-around creative. Everything else just comes later. So that's how I describe myself. I don't know what to call myself anymore. You know what I mean?
Too many hats, Baba. Too many
It's
hats.
too many hats. I don't know. Too many checks.
Too many hats. We'll talk about the checks. send some my way, but we'll talk about the checks. So
Right.
which one do you feel that you wear the hat the most? So creative director, rapper, etc. etc. Which one do you wear the most? Which hat do you feel that out of your 24 hours, that's the one that you wear the most?
On a day-to-day, it's probably creative directing. And I'll tell you why. I think people get the creative director thing. It's more like glamorized and more, um, but for the most part, it's problem solving for everything, right? So you
Okay.
just so happen to be in the creative field when you problem solving, but at the end of the day, it's like being a mechanic for other companies or various creative companies and just for design, right? So this is what I do on a day-to-day, where be it
So
if I'm working on like designs or like a poster or graphic work for like whatever, like say SA Hip Hop Awards, or maybe I'm doing stuff with a production company. Essentially, I'm just
okay.
problem solving. Like there's nothing to it. Like the problem here is that we need to look for this whole show, perhaps, or we need to look for this this poster, right? Um, and that's my job. How do I find the best look for your show, or or or
Okay.
or your company, or my company, you know? Um,
Okay.
so for the most part,
So
that's what we do.
let's break it down for the layman, and as you said, that everyone in here is the creative director, like you. That's a
Mm,
very big word. This person, So
mm.
give us like examples, or give us work that you have done where you are a creative director, where you have actually had some input in being the mechanic that fixes those and comes up with those solutions.
Okay, I'll give you the one now that we're doing now. So I also, on like a full-time basis between my company, I also I also creative direct for another company called Access Africa Channel. And my job there is perhaps more intricate, more complicated, but it's so I'm figuring out for the whole time, as moving forward for like a project. Say we're doing a project with JSC that we did in the past, right? So we did this whole talk seminar situation at the JSC. We had various companies and government entities that were there, and they were talking about inclusive growth or whatever, and just how to incorporate more people of color and the youth to this corporate environment and giving them positions, right? So in my head, how I'm
Yeah.
looking at this is, okay, first I'm a youth, right? I'm only 26, right? How do I communicate something that is never we are never included in these conversations as far as
Mm-hmm.
youth, right? So
Okay.
how do I attract that audience so that they can tune in live on Instagram, or they can tune in live on YouTube, or listen to the podcast on like Anchor or something, or Spotify, right? How do I attract that audience even though they never, like, it's never marketed to us, right? So then the idea becomes, okay, cool. In design, we have line, space, and color. These three elements are all what communicate the product in everything.
Yeah.
Right? So then
Okay.
that's how I think, and that's my headspace is, okay, cool. What colors attract the youth? What lines or what words or fonts also attract a certain demographic, and then how do I then communicate that? You see, already now I'm troubleshooting. Before I'm designing, before I'm even making a plan, I'm troubleshooting in my head. That becomes the mechanic. It's like when your car is broken down, they check the oil, they check the water, they check the battery, they check the gas, right? So it's all these things that work out in my head and within my team, and we then write those down, and then we start making the product, and then we start conceptualizing. Um, and then that's when we bring out the design element, and then we create the graphic work, and then from graphic work we take it to how then the show is supposed to go, right? So what lights do we want, what sound do we want, and what videos do we want? So all that happens in that one process, and I guess that's how we problem solve, basically. So that's essentially being a creative director is a problem solver or a mechanic, I guess.
Okay. I hear you, man. I guess because I come from a more of a marketing background.
Mm.
You go to a similar thing. You start first by troubleshooting and having a plan before you can implement. So a lot of people usually just don't take that expert seriously. They just think you guys sit on a computer, you do wishy-washy, and then you
Yeah.
present and you go, what?
No,
You
but
know?
I'll tell you why. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'll tell you why that happens.
Yeah.
Half of the
Okay.
time, and you've seen me work, right? Is where we come up, we have a meeting and whatever, and we come up with these cool, dope concepts, and then it's just me like flipping through like Photoshop or like After Effects and like bring out like one template, and it
Correct.
happens so quickly. It happens so quickly, but the process isn't that quickly. The process isn't that quick because in my head I've already what you like. If we're sitting in a meeting, in my head I'm already formulating these. I'm already troubleshooting. Yes, it happens quickly, but that process is happening in my head. So me describing those steps might happen. So those steps might take like 5 minutes to formulate in my head, but they are steps nonetheless. Because I've done
Correct.
this for so long, it's easier for me to like churn out designs or churn out to maybe music or churn out videos, but there's still steps that I have to go through, even though they happen in a short space of time. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying, and I think also most of the time for designers and for you guys, you end up being like artists where you actually by yourself around this time conceptualizing and cleaning out your idea. So most people don't see that, and then you come and you open your laptop, and then people are like, man, this guy is charging me this amount. Right? Yeah. I've seen it. You know, I used to own a below the line advertising company, and that's what used to happen. People was like, but why are you charging this amount? You might have come up with this in 2 minutes. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with clients who don't understand what you guys do, the process? Do you feel that you guys should actually explain it more? Because I feel like sometimes people don't understand. Like you go through this whole process, but when you come to me as a client, I just like, you just put colors. These are just colors. I could have done it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can't speak for other creators, right? Because also I'm not that social, but for the most part, I've been very fortunate. Huh? No, but like I've been
most of you guys are
fortunate. I've been fortunate enough to have people around me that can vouch for me and people who trust my opinion. And partly because of the work I've done throughout the years. I mean, but I also explain this to like new clients and just new people is okay. So I'm this age, right? I started this as a teenager. Like I was 15, flipping through Photoshop and doing designs. Like in high school, doing corporate designs in fucking high school, right? So, I explain this to them. I say, okay, cool. It might have taken me 2 minutes to like do this graphic or do this drawing or do this video, but what you paying for is the 10 years that I had spent learning how to get to making this into 2 minutes. So that's what the client is paying for essentially is my education throughout the years, right? Because even me, I had to struggle. You know, even me, I had to get that 200 rand stipend just to like to one place to another, right? And that's what the client is paying for. And fortunate enough for me is that every time I deliver, it's at such a high level that like it's undeniable, you know. I mean, even when I submit my work, whether it's draft work or like it's in the first stages, it is at such a high quality that you can't fight me anymore. like if I'm asking for that 50 or I'm asking for 20, like you saw, right? And this is not even the final work, because I also have this thing, like my mother calls it showing off. It's like, you show off too much. Like, so I have like my draft work or like sketches and little ideas. I'll be like, oh, I just did, right? And I show that to the client, and they think it's the final work, but nah, it's just ideas that I was bouncing around. So by the time I get to the final work, they already have an expectation, and now there's no need to fight me anymore. You know, now you're gonna pay that money, because where else are you gonna get such quality at such a high rate, or at such a high speed? You know. So these are the things I work on, is basically how to make the best product at the quickest time is always the balance for me.
Let me play devil's advocate to you. Okay, so you saying you're outputting high quality work, right? And I'm a small business, right? But I'm only able to pay you a certain rate. How do you deal with that? I find that a lot of creators like shy away from people like that. So how do you deal with that? How do you make sure that you still keep that small chunk of guys coming with like a little bit money, but make sure that your work is on that level? Because you're still chunking out that good work, but he's paying you less.
It depends. Okay, at the end of the day, I still have to run a company, but it also depends on how important the work is, because at the end of the day, I'm not the traditional entrepreneur or the traditional creative who's just gonna take any work, right? I've learned along the years that the more you say no, the more your value then goes higher for some reason, right? So
yeah,
I take important work more than the most paying job. It just so happens that like sometimes it pays a lot, but it has to be important for me. So give you an example, like SA Hip Hop Awards, the only reason why I even got involved partly was because I had a mentor who was there with me and who ushered me into doing Hip Hop Awards. But it's also because I love hip hop and it's important. I want to be part of this history. You know, like there's no way. How do you turn down hip hop? Like how do you turn down doing a whole graphic for Hip Hop Awards, right? and or even anything. I was talking to Osmic the other day, and I was like, "Yo, you should give me that Back to the City. You should give me that Back to the City gig." And it's not because I want the check. It's just because I want to be part of that history, right? It's important for me to be part of. I want to win. I want to win those championships. You know, like I want to be the guy to throw the last shot. You know, in the last second. That's me. That's my nature, right? So these are the types of jobs that I take, right? Me working on Access Africa channel, not because it's family, but also because it's important to tell African business stories, right? Me working with certain clients, it's important. Like I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that history. It doesn't matter if it's going to give me fame or if it's going to give me a lot of checks, but I want to be part of that. So with small companies and smaller businesses that then ask me to do work, I look at how important the job is. And if it isn't important, like if it's like I must do a logo for your company because we're starting up and whatever, I don't take those jobs because that doesn't matter to me. Like your CI doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to Banel, who's my teammate. It doesn't matter to anybody, right? In who's associated with me. But hey, tell me you've got like this thing you want to do, and it's life changing. You want to build smartphones, right? You're starting up, but you don't have a company. Well, you don't have like a big budget, but you want to build smartphones for African kids in fucking Eastern Cape. I'm part of it. Like, I'm down. I'll do that for free, my nigga. You know what I mean? So that's how I pick jobs. It's not about the money.
Yeah, I think I wanted to touch on that because obviously that's a big touchy point for designers, you know, because you guys, as most people understand, you guys actually, like, as I said, you like artists and producers. You actually spend a lot of money on software, on hardware, you know. But take us through that, you know, so people understand how much you guys are like spending on that, like just on that. It's it's a lot of money, you know.
Do you want real numbers?
Real numbers, chief. Real numbers. People must know.
Okay. I bought my first laptop with my own money. I paid like 5,000 rand for it, right? Ever since then, my gear has just been like, and I found myself this one year. I think it was the one year you guys came to the crib, and we had to do like Hip Hop Awards at a short notice.
Yeah.
And we like spent, just in that year alone, we like spent like 50 bricks on just like equipment and laptops and upgrades just on that one year. Um, I don't know how much I spent since then, but a lot of my income really goes into upgrading just my gear, be it whether I'm getting more RAM or graphics cards or new hard drives. Hard drives are fucking expensive, right? So a lot of, yeah, we spend a lot. I couldn't give you like a number of or an amount of money I've just spent on gear alone. Like, it's insane. I probably would have had a nice pool of mine, just, you know, like, it would have been nice. The sunroof, you know, the panoramic situation with some nice. Ah, man, fuck. Still drive up to Kanto, dude.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that's tuned in now. I see DJ Wandy, I see
Oh
Dr. Culture.
shit, yo, Lux
Just
DJ
like
Wendy, I
shout out.
love you, bro. Like, yo. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
what's up, DJ Wandy? Maswai, shout out to Maswai,
Yo,
McD, The
shout out
Wolf,
Maswai.
Makarawa Beats. Yo, pick up to everybody. We're talking to SIMZ, creative director, rapper, you know. So you guys spend a lot of money, right,
Yeah.
on all the stuff. Um, Explain to a layman why is that important that you always upgrading your system? Why is it open that you always get buying, you know, I'm a hard drive? Because for a layman, they're like, we are wasting, Baba. So same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you see, the thing is, in every industry, you need storage. I don't care what you do. Like, if you do fashion, you need a place where you're going to store your clothing. Um, you know, if you making cars, you're going, or if you, I don't care. You need storage, right? It comes exactly with creators and with artists. We 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 put our work so much, or we depend on machines so much. You need backups and you need storage. Um, and half of the time you find yourself, especially if you on video, you find yourself buying a hard drive like every month because, hey, this project needs this hard drive, and you need to buy 2 other hard drives
Sounds
so
sick,
that you can back up. Because I mean, essentially, look, we don't have that bandwidth in this country to store shit on the cloud. Like you can't put your whole 4K project in the cloud. It's gonna take you way too long to download and re-upload,
Hey.
and you know, so we still depend on hard drives, and half of the time you find yourself buying more and more hard drives. So even like with just upgrades and hardware, computer hardware, you can't run your Photoshop or your Premiere Pro or your After Effects with 4 gig RAM. Get the fuck out of here. Stop doing that. So you need faster machines for your output. No, but it's true. Like, I'm not, where's the lie, you know? Like, you need faster machines to increase your output. The fact, like, if you're a music, I hate music video situations, but if you're like a music video director, or you're a music video guy, like Cloud Cassette, is it, right? And you're churning out so many videos every month. At some point, you need to figure out, like, yo, okay, I need a fast machine so I can put out this video in 3 days, right? So I can put out another video in another 3 days and whatever. I've seen how they work, and I'm like, damn, they got fast machines, like they got hard machines, but you need to invest in those hard machines. Like, I'm looking at prices here for like IMAX, right? And like there's like a 27-inch 5K build situation here. It's like 99,000, right? At some point, you're gonna have to buy that if you wanna have an output that is at a high level, you know. And it's not even competition. It's just at some point you need to put out hard shit, you know. And I think it's important for creatives to like invest in their gear and in the equipment, because it's a tough world out there, man. It's tough. Clients don't care.
So Luxury Culture says, fact, true story. Yeah. It says also because it affects your delivery, you know, your deadline, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luxury Culture is fact, true story. TTP, tell them how much we invested in tech back early days. So just to put it in, just to explain to people, I was part of Luxury Culture, like growing up. I'm like a kid of Luxury Culture, right?
Yeah.
And we designed for Luxury Culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Let's focus on Luxury Culture. Focus on Luxury Culture. So, yo, man, every time our machine got slow, we had to go and upgrade because it killed your deadline, you know?
Yeah.
Because you design stuff for important clients like Luxury Culture, and if you miss a deadline, it means the whole everything gets moved across. So
hey, you know what's crazy? I'm sorry. You know what's crazy, right? You know what's crazy is you go through a phase where like your machine crashes, something like happens, right? And it's wild. Try telling your client that your machine crashed. Your client doesn't give a fuck. Like, they don't care that your machine crashed. They want their product right now.
That. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because now you're speaking about Luxury Culture, and like I'm doing a collaboration. I'm doing a collaboration now with Lost Turtle Apparel, the homies from Durban, and we always speak about this. And I'm like, yo, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I understand you want us to like work on certain, you know, things and do these, but do we have the infrastructure to make this happen? You know, it's cool to think Kanye West level or like S. Devlin level, you know, but do we have the infrastructure? And if we don't, we can't make this thing happen. Like it's not gonna happen. You know, so it's wild. It's wild, but we're getting there, and we're investing.
That's true.
I mean, we're investing so much into our craft, you know. So when I charge you, it's not because I'm eating the money. I still drive a Picanto. It's the fact that I need to increase my output so I can give you a better product, you know.
Correct. And people forget one thing also, the internet, because you need to have something, Baba, because sometimes we can't come to you, you know. We need that you to send us that stuff, Baba. You must have the bandwidth. Baba.
Hey, data is expensive.
Lucky Kasha says, a true story. Very true. The office actually for Lucky Kasha was like a cornerstone for work for hip hop, you know. Harambe came out there, you know, we used to have a Harambe team. WHP stuff came out there. A lot of white artists came out there. So big up to local culture. And they say investing in infrastructure is a very important tool, and craft for equals output. Very important.
Can we work? Ndate DJ Wendy,
because people like taking shortcuts.
Can we do something? Can we do something soon? Please, I beg you. Just I wanna be that guy.
I'm gonna give you his cent.
Yeah,
Yo, one day I'm gonna give you his cent.
Please,
part of part of history.
I will do it like
so
you know what?
A good part of history. I think somebody said something dope earlier on. Sorry, Diff Media. He said something dope. He says that the principle of design, when you explain that the process that you went through in terms of planning and troubleshooting and making sure you have a plan, I think that's very important for me. That this is highlighted that as a up and coming young designer, that people must understand that have a plan. You know, you can't just design. Just think that, you know, you are just designing. It's very important that people understand that you actually have a plan and you have a direction.
I beg to differ on that. I'll tell you why. And this is a secret. I'm gonna, just for the purpose of this conversation, is half of the time I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And part of the reason is because.
But you have a plan, Baba.
No, there is no plan to what I do. The only planning happens when the work is being done. But what is always in my head is I'm doing this for something bigger. And I attract that, right? So the fact that I love hip hop, you know, it's like I was like 12, 13, right? And I always saw like rappers at like Back to the City and whatever. Like I was far too young to even go there, but like I would always have like footage and like people would tell me about Back to the City. And I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to be part of this, you know. And it wasn't even a plan. Like I had no plan of how I'm gonna be a part of it. In my head, it was, okay, I'm gonna be a part of it, right? And 10, 12 years down the line, I'm sitting in the office with these guys who who organize this whole thing, you know, but that's not a plan. It's the fact that it's not a plan. It's the fact that in my head I spoke that into existence. I always tell like younger kids, I'm like, guys, you don't have to have a plan. Just know what you want, right? And say it every day, or like think about it and work towards that, right? And it will come. It will just come. Like no one's going to. It's just gonna come, you know. And finally we're here, you know, and chatting to TTP. You know what I'm saying? Wild shit. Wow.
Let me just read this before I say something that's you saying that's very important. That's close to my heart. There's a boy of yours, Shady Mkilo, says he just woke up.
Shout out Shady. Shout out Shady.
I got great work.
I did logo work. So
DJ Wandy says, in fact, you just got yourself a gig right now.
Wow.
Yeah, nigga, I know you don't believe it, but you can read for yourself. That's a fucking aim club. Yo, man, the early back is the fattest verb, you know what I'm saying? Big up DJ
I'm
Wadi, man. That's actually one
screenshotting
of my
this.
mentors, so big up to him. Yeah, you think about
I'm
him, you know?
screenshotting this. Like I'm a
Do your thing.
I did so graphic work for Shady, and he owns like a gym. He owns Fine Town Gym. I
Yeah.
did the logo and I did the CI for that. That was early
Okay.
days though. But yeah, shout out Shady, man. Like he gave me one of my first breaks, man. Like amazing dude, amazing guy,
Yeah.
amazing guy. Should check out his work.
That's dope, man. I know that feeling because Wandi gave me my first break, so I know that feeling when you have your first break and you just want to express yourself. You touched on something that's very you, oh, dope. Sorry if I read your name wrong. I am no brother Zira. Dope Jules,
Yeah.
we're taking notes from them. Big up to them, man. Big up to everybody that's tuned in.
Yo, wow! Shout out Zim, dog.
About just sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just sharing knowledge and we're trying to learn from each other, you know? There's something that's very important that you're saying, that passion. That's all I'm hearing from you. Just passion and passion and passion and passion and passion.
I'm very passionate.
How much does that help also do your work? Because you don't sleep. People don't understand. Like when you're a designer and a creative director, you don't sleep. And sometimes you're just like, that kind is irritating. So how much is passion a big part of your life?
So rest in peace, my old man. He always instilled this into me, right? You have to do something every day to be good at it. Like, so I would do like drawings every day. Every day when I come back from school, if I don't do a drawing, or I'm not doing like a math problem, or I'm not in my piano classes or whatever, I'm getting my ass beat, right? So just that drive alone kind of filtered through to my adulthood, right? And now I'm so passionate. Like everything has to work. I always tell people, I'm like, listen, I would rather. So I use a 25% rule, and I say, okay, if something works just for 25%, right? If there's a 25% chance that this thing works, then we're gonna take it and we're gonna run with it and make sure we take it to 100. We're gonna win with just a 25% chance, right? A lot of people want to work with a 75% to 80% chance that it might work, right? So people won't take the risk. Like, it has to work this way, right? And if it doesn't work, there's a saving nest under, right? So if I fall on like a net, right? And I'll be cool. For me, failure is not an option. I don't care. Like, you've seen this before, where like chips are down, like things are going wrong, and I'm the only person that is calm, and it's part of the reasons because
curveballs.
Yeah, part of the reasons because I love this shit. Like I love it, right? I can't quantify how much passion I have for it. Like, I want something so bad to work, especially if I'm working on it. If I'm working on it, give me the ball. Like, I'm gonna score those points. That's me, right? But it's because of me doing this thing every day to get better at it. Like, I don't even now, like, I chat to some of my peers and they're like, oh, you're at the top of your game, oh my god, you're doing this and that, and I'm like, to be honest, I don't there's nothing happening here. Like, I need more, you know. I want to see Back to the City on a BET level or on a Grammy level. That's what I want to see visually, right? I look at the negative tweets and I'm like, okay, there's some shit I need to fix, because those negative tweets, they don't know the graphic guy, they don't know the stage guy, right? I'm that guy. So I need to read through those tweets and be like, okay, this is what we need to fix next time. This is the next meeting. I'm coming up with the dopest concept or the dopest design so that it works for the rest of the people. And it's not because I'm doing it for other people, it's just for myself. Like, if I feel like I haven't won, then we can't do this. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? And it's all just a part. Yeah, it might be a team sport and what, and yeah, you know, this person fucked up or whatever. But if anything fucks up, I feel it too. You know, and all because I love it. I want it.
Correct.
You know, I want to smoke. You know, so that's passion is everything, man. Like, without passion, I don't know. I'd probably do it. I'd probably be smoking now.
That's true. I think you touched on something. When you say there's no such thing as top of the game, yes, because I used to, like, okay, I still play a bit of tennis, but they always say if you're not practicing, you'll never get perfect, you know? So you're always practicing to get to that level, to get to that level, to get to that level. So you can never stop because there's somebody else who's practicing as hard as you. So you always have to keep sharp, you know? You
Legit.
know? Top of the game means game over. That's true.
Legit.
If you peak, in marketing terms, they say if you peak, the next level is going down. So you have to keep incline. Always here. Yeah. It means growth, you know? I don't know if anybody out there wants to hit some Q&As, you know, throw some questions or shout outs. Yeah, but thank you so much for coming through. I've learned a lot. I hope the people learned a lot, you know, that my grandfather used to say, you learn to, you teach to learn. So I'm here on this platform so I can teach other people, and I'm learning a lot, you know. I think I've been around a lot of creative designers like my whole life. This is like my life. But I always find that everybody has their own ways of doing things, and it's so amazing, man. The energy givers. I know me and you are the calm ones, the team. The calm ones, the team. But yeah, you know, the work. I'm always laughing. People like find us weird, but yeah, the work that you put in, you know, I think people must check out your work. People don't need credit, so, you know, unfortunately, but check out your work, you know, and read the credits. You know, you do the amazing graphics for us. I call you SIMZ the genius because the graphics speak so much to what we do in terms of hip hop. You know, I think sometimes people forget that the two worlds collide. So yeah, big up yourself. Don't stop, man. But big up yourself. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. This is the early birds. Obviously, catches the biggest worm. So yeah, thanks, man.
Yo, shout out DJ Wandy, man. Like, love for real. I need that number. Like,
don't worry, it's coming your way.
So many ideas, but we have to.
Shout out to everybody that tuned in. You know, shout out to everybody that tuned in. Want to do more of these, you know. Hey, come on, get Wandy on this. As soon as it gets better, get better, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. As soon as it gets better, get Wandy on this.
Can we do like a Zoom situation? Because I really want to have a chat with DJ Wandy, like on a platform like this. This will be wild.
Done. Let's do that. That's a dope thing. Yeah. We'll handle that. Don't worry, we handle that. But big up to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hey.
Peace.